2006, we declared it dead. We called it a lonely rock, a failure cast out from the family of our solar system into the cold darkness. But as the New Horizons probe approached after 9 long years of travel, it witnessed something far more terrifying and beautiful than a simple icy planetary corpse. It found a breathing entity, a world with a massive heart pumping nitrogen across its frozen surface, where mountains of ice float like ghostly glass giants. Located 5 billion kilometers away, where sunlight is just a faint spark, Pluto exists in a state of extreme physics that Earth science never once imagined. Why does such a tiny planet maintain this eerie, vibrant activity? Something is hiding a dark secret deep beneath that thick, deceptive crust of ancient ice. Science tells us it should be frozen solid, but every image sent back suggests a world that is very much alive, shifting in the deep dark. Forget everything you thought you knew about dwarf planets. We are about to enter the 6 chapters of the Eternal Realm, where nightmares take shape. Chapter 1. The Heart That Never Sleeps. Behold Sputnik Planitia, a vast, brilliant white plane glowing like a beacon in the cold, dark void of space. This is not water ice. This is a massive ocean of liquid nitrogen boiling slowly due to radioactive heat leaking from the planet's deep, stony core. Look closely at the surface of this heart. You will find no crater scars, no signs of impact. It is a world that is constantly regenerating. The nitrogen ice acts like a conveyor belt, swallowing every meteor that strikes it, pulling the debris deep into the bowels of the planet's hidden interior. Yet imagine a pot of thick soup simmering on a low flame. That is exactly what is happening here on a planetary scale, moving in slow motion. This constant motion means the heart of Pluto is younger than the mountains surrounding it, a geological marvel that defies all conventional logic and physics. Standing here, you would feel the ground beneath your feet moving, a slow, silent pulse of a world that refuses to die in the cold. The heat from the core is the engine driving the circulation of nitrogen, creating a landscape that is reborn every few 100,000 years of time. Every crystal tells a story of survival, of a planet that refuses to be just another dead rock in the vast empty graveyard of the belt. This heart is the source of Pluto's power, in the very thing that keeps its atmosphere alive and its surface changing in the eternal darkness of space. Scientists were shocked. They expected a cratered dead moon. Instead, they found a beating heart that breathes life into an otherwise frozen, desolate wasteland world. But the heart is only the beginning. Further out, the landscape turns into something even more alien, where the very laws of geology are twisted. Chapter 2. The Walking Glass Mountains. Imagine peaks 4,000 meters high, rising like jagged teeth into the thin, blue, hazy sky of this world. At negative 230 degrees Celsius, water ice doesn't behave like it does on Earth. It becomes hard as steel, an unbreakable mineral. These mountains are lighter than the nitrogen ice they sit upon. The result? And these massive rock-hard peaks are actually floating, drifting like ghosts across the plains. You are looking at giant mountain ranges that move every single day, sailing like colossal ships on an ocean of poisonous, frozen chemical sludge. The scale is hard to comprehend. Imagine the Alps moving across the ocean. That is the reality of the wandering mountains on this small world. These are the Tenzing Montes, peaks that rival the highest on Earth, yet they are made entirely of frozen water drifting in a nitrogen sea. They are silent, slow, and terrifying. A reminder that in the outer reaches of the system, even the ground beneath your feet is never still. Inside these mountain ranges lie secrets of Pluto's birth, trapped in ice that hasn't melted in billions of years, moving through the long, dark winter. And the beauty of these peaks hides a brutal reality. They are giants in a world that shouldn't have the energy to move them, yet they walk. When these glass giants collide, the impact is silent but devastating. reshaping the surface of the planet in a slow-motion dance of destruction and ice. We once thought Pluto was flat and boring. We were wrong. It is a world of vertical extremes and drifting continents of pure frozen water. But the most disturbing discovery wasn't the moving mountains. It was the color of the world itself, a hue that suggests a dark chemical past. Chapter 3. The Bleeding Skies. When the first color images returned, we didn't see a white planet. We saw a world stained in deep, terrifying red. This red isn't rust or clay, and it is the result of ultraviolet light from the distant sun tearing apart methane molecules in the thin, cold air. These complex organic molecules called tholins fall from the sky like a slow red snow, coating the landscape in the color of a grim battlefield. Pluto doesn't have white snow. It has red rain and crimson dust, creating a world that looks like it has been drenched in ancient frozen blood. These tholins are the building blocks of life, the precursors to biology scattered across a world that is far too cold for anything to live. The contrast is jarring. A blue sky, similar to Earth's, hovering over a landscape that is stained red, a beautiful but hauntingly alien atmospheric phenomenon. The atmosphere of Pluto is a chemical laboratory cooking up complex ingredients in the dark, sending them down to paint the world in shades of gore. If you walked on this surface, your boots would be stained red as you trekked through the organic remains of a sky that never stops falling. This is the Cthulhu region, a dark scar across the planet's equator, where the tholin deposits are so thick they swallow all the light reaching them. The bleeding skies of Pluto are a reminder that even in the furthest reaches, chemistry is active, building the foundations of something more complex. But as strange as the surface is, what lies beneath is even more profound. Down in the dark, where the red snow cannot reach, lies hope. Chapter 4. The Subsurface Ocean. Beneath hundreds of kilometers of rock-hard ice, Pluto hides a secret that shouldn't exist, an ocean of liquid water. And the planet's wobble and the way its mass is distributed suggest that a massive, thick liquid layer is sloshing deep inside its frozen heart. Radioactive decay in the core provides the heat, while the thick ice crust acts as a thermal blanket, keeping the water from freezing solid forever. This is a dark, heavy ocean likely filled with salts and ammonia that act as antifreeze, keeping the water liquid in the most extreme conditions. In this permanent darkness where sunlight has never reached, could life have found a way? Could Pluto be an oasis in the vast frozen desert? We once thought Earth was the only water world. Now we realize that the outer solar system is teeming with hidden subterranean oceans of mystery. The pressure down here is immense, yet it is this very pressure that helps keep the heart of the planet beating and its surface alive. We may never see this ocean with our own eyes, but the evidence of its existence is written in the movements of the planet itself. If life exists there, it would be alien to everything we know. A biology of the dark, fueled by the slow decay of radioactive stones, Pluto is not just a rock. It is a container for a hidden world, a potential cradle for life at the edge of the abyss. But Pluto does not travel alone. It is locked in a violent, eternal struggle with a companion that is almost as large as itself. Chapter 5. Charon, the Tortured Companion. Charon is not just a moon, it is a partner in the only double-planet system in our galaxy. They are tidally locked, always facing each other, frozen in a permanent stare as they spin around a common center of gravity in the dark. Charon is a thief. It actively pulls the atmosphere away from Pluto, stealing the very air the dwarf planet tries to hold on to for survival. This stolen gas settles on Charon's north pole, creating a terrifying red mark. Scientists have named this dark, desolate region Mordor Macula. Charon is a world of scars. Its surface is split by a canyon 4 times longer than the Grand Canyon, evidence of a violent past. This canyon was formed when Charon's internal ocean froze and expanded, literally bursting the moon open from the inside out in a catastrophe. From the surface of Pluto, Charon would never move in the sky. It would be a permanent giant ghost looming over the same spot forever. Their dance is one of mutual torture and survival. Two broken worlds bound together by gravity at the edge of the solar system's reach. In the darkness of Mordor, the red dust of Pluto finds its final resting place, a testament to the atmospheric theft between the two partners. Surrounding this pair are 4 tiny, chaotic moons, tumbling through space like debris caught in the gravitational wake of a massive, slow-motion ship. It is the most complex satellite system for such a small world, a miniature solar system governed by the laws of ice and shadow. Chapter 6. Cryovolcanoes. This is Right Mons. It looks like a volcano, but instead of fire and lava, it breathes out the absolute cold. These are ice volcanoes. They don't erupt with heat. They spew out a mixture of ice, water, and ammonia from the planet's pressurized interior. At 150 kilometers wide, Right Mons is a monster of ice, a testament to the fact that Pluto is still geologically alive. The surface around these volcanoes is lumpy and strange, created by repeated eruptions of icy mud that slowly built these massive structures over eons. An eruption on Pluto would be a silent, majestic event, a pillar of ice crystals rising toward the stars in the low, weak gravity. This terrain is unique in the solar system, a landscape shaped not by wind or water, but by the slow, cold breathing of the planet. These volcanoes are the windows into the interior, the proof that the heart of Pluto is still warm enough to move its icy skin. Pluto refuses to be a dead world. It continues to reshape itself, erupting in the cold, proving its resilience against the freezing dark of space. Every eruption is a renewal, a way for the planet to heal its wounds and remain vibrant despite being billions of miles from warmth. These are the guardians of the interior, the massive structures that tell us Pluto is much more than a simple frozen ball of rock. But why does this all matter? Why is this tiny, distant world the key to understanding the very edge of our existence in the universe? Pluto is the gatekeeper of the Kuiper Belt, a vast crown of millions of icy worlds that surround our solar system like a frozen barrier. If Pluto is this complex and alive, then millions of other worlds out there are hiding similar secrets. We are not alone in the universe. Our definition of where life can exist is too narrow. Pluto proves that life doesn't need a sun if it has a heart strong enough. It may have been stripped of its title, but Pluto doesn't care, and it remains a king in exile, dancing its deathly dance at the edge. As we leave Pluto behind, we realize that the most interesting things in the universe are often found in the places we once called dead. In our next journey, we go even deeper into the dark to face the mysterious Planet 9, a monster hiding where light cannot reach us. Don't miss the journey into the nothingness. Subscribe now to join us as we explore the final frontiers of our incredible, terrifying, and beautiful system. Pluto is waiting. The universe is calling. Will you be there when we uncover the next great secret of the dark? Goodbye for now.